Hello, it's Meg, and it's time for Chapter 4 in our book study, Abdullah, Teacher, Healer, by Walter C. Lanyon. This classic of New Thought thinking, written back in the early 1920s, has a lot of great advice for us, and if you've been following along, you know that a lot of these old school 20th century New Thought people understood the basic principles. And Walter C. Lanyon was a Christian, and this book was written from a Christian viewpoint. I personally am not a Christian. I'm not exactly a very religious person. I'm much more of a spiritual, non-religious person. But I don't think it matters whether you are religious or spiritual or even an atheist. I think there are a lot of good thoughts in this book about how to live your life in a meaningful way and how to manifest all the things you really want in this life. And in this chapter, we talk about the idea that all cause is mental and the effects will take care of itself. And he encourages us to check our thinking during the day to make sure that we're maintaining the correct thoughts. In other words, don't allow yourself to think into those negative thought patterns of lack mentality, I have nothing, I'm struggling for this and that. Instead, you should be thinking, I'm abundant, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, and prosperous. He uses the analogy of a muddy stream, when cleared at the source, will continue to run clear. And he talks a lot in this chapter as well about the concepts of hatred and love, comparing hatred to a fire, which consumes really only its point of origin, but love is life. And he encourages us to try to stimulate new things throughout the day with love every day, because love is the direct antidote to hate. We also see Walter C. Lanyon discuss the idea in this chapter, the quote, I am the temple of the living God. And he's talked quite a bit in this book previously about the God within. So when you are entering your temple, you are entering your own mind. And when you drive out the money changers, you're driving out your evil thoughts. And he encourages you to drive those things from your thought and think about the things that really matter. And he also encourages us to get away from our personal attitudes. Don't fear the negative so much that you become it. The classic example he gives us is the hypochondriac who literally worries themselves sick. And here's something in this chapter I have talked about a lot. Have an impersonal view of life. Try to stay neutral. Use good abundantly, but he makes a good point. Don't try to corner it. Repetition is necessary to train your thoughts, which is why I do a lot of guided meditations and deep sleep meditations. I think they really help me to train my subconscious thinking. And he reminds us that there is no outcast from the kingdom of heaven. And just the desire to be one with the mind of God will point you in the right direction. You don't need to fight. Leave that for God. Just cleanse your mind and problems will begin to disappear. Walter C. Lanyon believed that you don't have to leave your present place to solve your problems. I think we all know that. Wherever you go, there you are. The problems will follow you. And he encourages all to pony up, get to it, and really start training our thinking to cause the outcomes we want. So let's enjoy this next chapter in Abdullah, Teacher, Healer. Chapter 4, A Thought for the Day. All cause is mental. The effect will take care of itself. If you want health, don't think sickness. If you want wealth, don't think poverty. All cause is mental. Make note of this and take a check on yourself during the day and see how many times you have slipped over into a wrong mental. All cause is mental. The effect will take care of itself. I want to impress upon you the importance of this. Do you sow the cause of something today and then fuss about the effect tomorrow? Look to the cause. A muddy stream, when cleared at the source, will usually clear as it empties into the ocean. The effect will follow the cause. Everything starts in mind. If you don't believe this, just check over the things you possess, your health, your wealth, your happiness, and see how many of them are not traceable to some beginning thought. All cause is mental. The effect will take care of itself. Remember the commandment, do not kill? Hatred kills. How many times a day do you kill something by hatred? Hatred is also a burning, scorching fire, which consumes only the place of its origin. Love, the opposite of hate, is life. Love engenders hope and life. How many times a day do you stimulate new action by your love? Love is also a healing oil which soothes and calms and brings peace to the suffering heart. It is the direct antidote to hate. It cannot be repeated too often. I am the temple of the living God. Thought along this line will rebuild and renew the broken and fallen body, will cleanse and purify and strengthen the abiding place of spirit. How often do you enter your temple and drive out the money changers, evil thoughts, and those who sell doves, deceptive concessions to matter? Make a practice of entering each morning for prayer. He that seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Man doth not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Did you ever try to meditate upon this before you sit down to dinner? If not, try it and see what happens. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthen me. What do you want to do? The next time you decide to take a new step, meditate upon this truth. Then find out where the Christ is. Lo, I am with you always. I, if I be lifted up, will draw all men unto me. If you lift your thought to a oneness with the Christ within, you will not only attain what you wish, but you will actually draw it to you. You will become a magnet for good and only for good. It is worth serious contemplation, this connection or contact with the Christ within. Try it. Do you realize that you are daily showing to the world what your thought is and has been? Your body is the practice ground where everything is displayed. Better start right now watching those thoughts so that much needed change can take place and the world can see your light before it hears your voice. Let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Where is heaven? Think about these things quietly. Get away from the personal attitude. Some people identify themselves with disease until they actually lay claim to it. They will speak of my cold, my sickness, my problem. Don't monopolize all these errors. You might get a corner on them and find you had a poor product on your hand. Get the impersonal view of life and use good abundantly, but don't try to corner it. A little water becomes stagnant when it is cornered. The steam keeps fresh and purified. When you realize the power of thought, you will begin to know that the spoken word has a power which, when used carelessly, is a dangerous thing. A little learning is a dangerous thing. Guard your thought. Watch. Remember, sometimes we are able to put into practice, "He spake and it was done." Repetition is necessary to discipline the thought. Do not become wearied because the same truth is presented to you in a half a dozen different ways. We must overcome and master the old man, so that when the prince of this world cometh, he will find nothing in me. He comes hourly. He is presented to you by every passing man who is not thinking right. Guard your thought, that he find nothing in you. If you want to find out something about life, study it from all its various attitudes. First as power, then as love, then as truth, then as intelligence. Take these one at a time and see if the minutest part of the real thing is sifting through into your expression of life. Remember, God is the only life, and that means that God is your life, and that your life must have all the attributes of God. Take a check on this and see if you have any of them. Be very insistent upon this. It is worth it. Remember, you can always rise and go unto your Father, and that He will meet you when far off. There is no such thing as an outcast in the kingdom of heaven. You have a chance, and the desire to return to your Father's home points you in the right direction. It is only a matter then of persistence until you arrive. Don't feed upon the husks of fear or doubt and condemnation. You are freeborn. Assert your freedom. Arise and go to your Father very often. You do not need to fight. Put up your sword. The battle is not yours but God's. Don't get the idea that you can throw anything on God, for there is nothing to throw. Cleanse your mind, and your problem will disappear. Don't think that idly drifting will get you anywhere. Resting means perfect activity and trust. Because the battle is God's, does not signify that you shall lie down to pleasant dreams, but that you shall be awakening for the clarion call of victory. In the very place this finds you, even though you have fished all night and caught nothing, the abundance of God is there. And when you let down your nets, let go of material thinking, you shall not only catch fish aplenty, but you shall become a fisher of men. You don't have to leave your present place to get rid of a problem. In fact, if you do, you'll find that the problem is the first one to greet you when you arrive at your journey's end. Overcome it here and prove that this is holy ground. You can do it. Gird up your loins and set forth. And there you have chapter 4 of Abdullah, Teacher, Healer by Walter C. Lanyon. If you have missed any of the other episodes on the previous chapters, we do have a playlist. Please make sure you check it out. And please make sure you join us next time for chapter 5, entitled, Now We Are the Sons of God, in which Walter C. Lanyon reminds us that we can and should take our rightful places as the children of God. So, until next time.